Do I have to apologize to Bo Nix?
Yeah. No, the Broncos stink. They're going to get their booties torched by the Chargers.
You say they stink, but, like, they're in the playoffs.
They did.
They're in the playoffs.
They made the playoffs, and Bo Nix won me $300 in a fantasy football championship.
10 wins?
I should take the win. Yes, CJ, you should apologize. You should apologize.
As a rookie? 10 wins as a rookie?
As Bo Nix?
As Bo Nix?
As Bo Nix?
Goodness.
Oh, what a time. Can't believe the playoffs are here. Can't believe football's winding down. Get a little emotional this time of year.
We need to extend the season. I don't know what else to do.
That's the answer.
Give double buys. Hell, give triple buys. Let's extend this thing. Don't add more. Please. Don't add any more games. But extend the season. Give these dudes' bodies a break. You want to send them to Kalamazoo? Is Kalamazoo overseas or is Kalamazoo in Michigan?
It's in Michigan.
Okay, never mind Kalamazoo. You want to send them to Djibouti? I know that's overseas.
Djibouti is overseas.
Do it. Send them over there, but give them a chance to let their bodies rest.
They looked like they were struggling to get up sometimes yesterday. Like the hits just hit a little harder.
Yeah.
It was like, oh.
I forget who gave the hit to Gibbs in that first quarter. Golf threw the screen out, and that Vikings player just came up and hit him right in the breadbasket. Like, ooh, he's got no win. Yes, they were hitting. Yes, they've been hitting all year. So yeah, extend the season by giving more bye weeks.
Fine by me.
Like, let's go. Let's do it.
Although I will say with the college football playoff, it's lost its jizz.
What do you mean?
Like, I'm ready for the games.
Yeah.
You know, there's not the energy and the intensity of it happening.
But that's what happens in March Madness too.
Really?
Yeah. If you don't have the right names, by the Sweet 16, Elite 8, not Sweet 16, by the Elite 8, it's like, okay, I'm kind of college basketball now.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
And they got college football couldn't have asked for better teams, could they? You got Notre Dame, Texas, and Ohio State. You throw Penn State in there as well?
There's only one SEC team, though.
Nah, well. And are they really
the
SEC
fans
teams?
are mad at you.
I don't care. Losers. A Mississippi State fan came at me. I was like, yo, my guy, didn't y'all lose to Toledo? What are you talking about?
Keep it in perspective. What's up, everybody? It is Monday, January 6th. First Monday of 2025. Gonna be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass. Coming up on today's show, it was a tough weekend for the Memphis Grizzlies. With a pair of losses to end their West Coast road trip, they return home tonight to face the Dallas Mavericks. Jimmy Butler has everyone in a tizzy all around the NBA. We'll get into all that. Gary Parrish will join us about 40 minutes in. The Memphis Tigers got another AAC win, barely. The Golden Globes were last night, and I will not let GP usurp me as Mrs. Movie Phone of Grind City Media. We'll talk some Week 18 NFL. The playoffs are set. It is Black Monday. The coaches are getting fired left and right. We'll do a little Hot Mess Express as well. It's a Monday. You know what we say. I'm so moving on, yeah.
Get the squad together for this year's Junior Grizzlies 3-on-3 tournament. Presented by 2K at the Built Ford Tough practice facility inside FedEx Forum. On Saturday, January 4th, teams will compete in 3 games before advancing to single elimination play. Overall winners from the 10 and under, 12 and under, and 14 and under divisions will win Grizzlies tickets, including exclusive access to the pregame team shoot-around before the Grizz take on the Pelicans January 24th. Sign up today at hoopitup.com/Grizzlies.
Grizz Nation, it's time to send Ja, Sharon, and Dez to the 2025 All-Star Game.
Oh! What did we just see, partner?
Take three!
Bane for 3. Bingo!
Desmond Bane heating it up.
Blocked by Sharon!
Most versatile power forward in the game today.
Head to NBA.com/vote, the NBA app, or simply use the QR code on the screen to send your Grizzlies to the All-Star Game today.
Our fans have a huge impact on our ability to play to the level that we're striving for.
Drop off, Durant. Oh! Well, you wanted home crowd involvement.
I love those moments where you see our guys engaging in the fans, and the fans just get pumped up.
They are standing in FedEx
I would hate to be on the other side with the opposition when FedEx Forum's rolling. That's such an unbelievable relationship that our group has with our fans.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
This team is doing everything that Taylor Jenkins and his coaching staff envisioned it could do.
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Welcome everybody. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. First weekend of 2025. We officially can no longer wish each other a happy new year. But I hope your new year is off to a great start. Mine is. Want to know why, CJ? Because I walked outside this morning and I was anticipating being met by a bitter, freezing cold, which I was, and it was windy. But it was snowing on my way into the office this morning, and I can't be in a sour mood when it's snowing. I'm not sure if the flakes are still flaking. It does not appear that they are. It was brief. Yeah, but they were better. Yeah, they were. They were like real snowflakes.
You're going to get some on Friday, correct?
Apparently.
Okay. Well,
allegedly.
Better get your bread and milk now, people.
Chris said the grocery store was unusually packed yesterday, and he was like, I think it's just because people want to cook to start the year. I said, no, it's because they forecasted icy mix in Memphis, and suddenly everybody has to get their groceries for the week.
I'm unfamiliar with what's supposed to pop off on Friday. I'll deal with Friday when Friday comes, but a little bit of a heads up. What is it? Is it snow? Is it ice, sleet, hail? What are we doing?
I think Friday is legitimately snow, and then today was the crazy temperature swing of 60 degrees yesterday, rain, thunderstorms in the afternoon, and overnight it freezes. We dripped our pipes. Did you drip your pipes?
I thought y'all didn't have to drip your pipes.
I don't know. We got an email from our building group that said drip your pipes.
So y'all are supposed to drip your pipes.
We're unclear.
Y'all didn't drip them at all last year.
Well, then we should be fine.
Yeah, drip your pipes.
Did you drip your pipes?
Did
you wrap your pipes?
Yes. Most of the time.
New Year.
Most of the time I wrapped my pipe when I was out there like that. Didn't want any leakage or spillage or anything like that. Because we have a house, you have to like wrap the faucet on the outside.
Oh yeah, that's scary.
I didn't know that. So my wife.
I just drip.
My wife did that. Please don't say that. So yes, when I left the house,
start the year.
it wasn't freezing last night, right? Right now it's freezing. So before I left the house, I put my faucets on drip. Now she's responsible for her faucets.
Oh.
The bathroom faucet and whoever's the last one in the kitchen, they drip that.
You're like when Chris and I used to Venmo before we decided to do joint bank accounts, which I hate to admit it, you all were right. It's a much easier life. But when we used to Venmo each other.
We don't do joint bank accounts.
No, so that makes sense that you don't joint drip pipes.
No, she deals with her drippage, I deal with my drippage.
Well, for now, we got some nice snowflakes. But not enough for you to stay in your house tonight because the Memphis Grizzlies are home, and my God, do they need a win and a good home court support system as they venture here to take on the Dallas Mavericks. It was a big womp to start 2025 for the Grizzlies with losses on Friday and Saturday. Lost to the Kings on Friday, 138-133. Then the Warriors on Saturday, 121-113. Yes, CJ?
I think they're winless in the state of California. Is that true? I'm pretty sure they're either 0-5 or 0-6 in the state of California. They've got wins.
Because they beat the Lakers here.
They got wins over the Lakers here, Clippers here. Didn't they get the Warriors here?
Yeah, they got by 51.
I think they're three.
Don't forget it.
I think they're 3-6 against California teams, with all 3 wins being here and the 5 or 6 losses being in California. Yeah, they're winless. So whatever it is, it's that state. That's the problem.
It's just the state.
Yeah, no. Is that a different time zone than everybody else?
It is Pacific time zone.
All right, so who else is Pacific? Just Portland?
Portland.
And the California teams, right?
Yeah.
Is Phoenix Pacific?
No, they always confuse me. I think they're Mountain Time.
Yeah.
They might be Pacific.
So, and the Portland doesn't count because they're terrible. So, yeah, that's the issue. Pacific time zone. Stay out of that time zone if you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, luckily they're back home.
There we go.
In the home time zone.
Central
in Central.
Standard.
We love CST. Not the best road trip overall to close out 2024 and to begin 2025 as the Grizzlies go 2-3 on that trip. Overall, their wins coming in against the Pelicans and the failing, struggling, desperado Phoenix Suns, and losses to the Thunder, who just keep winning, won their 15th straight game with a big win over the Celtics, in which they just shut that Celtics offense down yesterday, and losses to the Kings and the Warriors over the weekend. Grizzlies are still third in the Western Conference, 23-13, right behind the Rockets. We will certainly get into the nitty-gritty of the losses to the Kings and the Warriors. But the biggest conversation as it pertains to the Grizzlies coming out of the weekend, and we'll call it a conversation because it's not really a story. Like, I don't think we can use the song, CJ. I don't think we can hear the sweet, smooth, the smooth jams of allegedly, reportedly. They don't fit this, specifically as it pertains to the Grizzlies.
But if we're talking about it, because of the tampering rules,
does it become a story?
Right, that's the situation.
You're right.
So I'll tell you what, we won't play the words. We'll just play the music. It's understood.
Okay.
It's understood.
I would like to say the reportedly, allegedly winds are blowing. But really, it was just a little betting market breeze. Just a little betting market breeze on a Saturday afternoon in Memphis. It's like a Lance Stevens. Like, what are we doing?
It was like the way we blow out candles on the birthday cake. Like, not a wind. It's not a gust of anything.
No.
It's just a
like, so much so that at one point in time over the weekend, DraftKings had the Memphis Grizzlies with the best odds to land Jimmy Butler. The Grizzlies' odds rose from 3,000 to plus 300. That's significant. It also could have meant absolutely nothing. And by this morning, on Bovada, for example, the Grizzlies are at 7th to land Jimmy Butler. So these things bounce. And yes, women lie, men lie, front offices lie. Las Vegas really is just all about the money. And there's a variation of things that can affect betting odds. And sometimes I think we put too much stake into the third eye of what Las Vegas is saying about a situation. And before we get all into it, listen, in case you missed it, because sometimes we just assume that everybody is up on everything, but maybe you're relying on the show to keep you updated. And it would be easy to get confused in the Jimmy Butler situation because things escalated rather quickly in this saga, which is pretty wild because the Heat are usually so cultured, CJ. That Heat culture, keeps them in line. But right now, they are a mess with a capital M.
This is how you maintain your Heat culture, though. It's like you find one wrong chair. You find one of those guys and realize they're around. You're like, all right, we got to ship this dude off. Usually, though, it's not the best player or the second best player on your team, the face of your team. The Spurs did this. I want to say a lot or a ton, but I remember Steven Jackson became this way with the Spurs, and they said, all right, Jack, you got to go. And they moved on from him.
I think the Timberwolves did it.
With who?
With Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler. My fault. This dude is king of forcing himself out of places.
How quickly we forget.
But we don't. Oh, wait. Did the Timberwolves have like a culture?
No.
Yeah.
They don't have it in the key.
No.
It doesn't say T-Wolves culture in the key in a nice little special paint. But with Jimmy, went from reports that he wanted to be traded elsewhere. Then we got the official statement from Pat Riley saying, we're not trading Jimmy Butler. And then last week, Jimmy Butler made comments after a loss to the Pacers saying he just wants to find joy back in basketball. He just wants to find his joy back. And then when he was asked if he could find that joy in Miami, he said, probably not. Probably not. And then the Heat went ahead and suspended him for 7 games for multiple instances of what they called conduct detrimental to the team. The NBPA immediately announces that they're filing a grievance for that suspension being excessive and inappropriate. 7 games gets us right about off of this current road trip. So Jimmy Butler not with the Heat on their current road trip. And the team now says that they are open to moving Jimmy Butler because he has made it clear that he wants to be traded. So Pat Riley has done a total Uno reverse in the last 8 days, going from we are not trading Jimmy Butler to, okay, we're maybe trading Jimmy Butler. We are listening to offers. We are enticing potential offers from Jimmy Butler. And Jimmy Butler has been clear, he'll go anywhere. And you want to know what's included in anywhere, CJ?
What?
Memphis, Tennessee, because anywhere means anywhere. So the people, and by the people, I mean the Grizzlies fans, the NBA at large, because this wasn't just a Grizzlies conversation. After the Grizzlies rose to the best odds on DraftKings, suddenly you saw from The Athletic to Bill Simmons a lot of transaction machinery working to see how this could work for the Memphis Grizzlies. What was your first impression or first reaction to the potential of Jimmy Butler coming to Memphis?
Oh, no, I'm going to have to apologize to Mike Wallace.
Not again. We already did it with Zach Edey.
I hadn't apologized yet, but I probably will have to apologize for that also. Goodness gracious. Mike sat here when Jimmy was doing the whole emo thing. He's like, yeah, no, I hadn't talked to anybody in that organization recently. This is Mike Wallace saying this, but I know that's not playing well with Pat Riley and the Heat organization. It's like, Mike, you're insane. You're crazy. Everybody loves it. He was right. Everybody did not love it. I was like, oh. So yeah, that was my first thought was, oh, Mike is right. I should listen to the wiser people up here more often. The second thought was, don't do it. Don't bring him through. Like, you know, everything is going to end at some point. Like, everything will. We know how it's...
Boys to Men told us.
We know how it's... Oh, speaking of Boys to Men, did you see Kevin Love's IG post?
It's the end of the road.
We know how this is going to end with Jimmy Butler. It's going to end in a mess, so don't do that. Leave that alone.
So...
Look at this.
What you're saying makes sense.
Look at that, K-Love. Also, that means if they're mad at Jimmy for being emo, they're going to be furious with Kevin Love for this post.
For being R&B?
Yes.
For being sad Boys to Men?
Maybe. What if Pat Riley is cool with it as long as it's R&B and not Fallout Boy?
Maybe he's just anti-emo.
Maybe.
Maybe he just hates Fallout Boy. I don't know. I don't know how that goes. I definitely... truthfully, went from, you know, the classic meme of the lady trying like the drink and she's like, and then she's like,
oh, I didn't know that was a drink meme.
I thought
she was just making funny faces. Go ahead, though.
I think she was trying something. I don't know the origin of the meme, but I think of her often. She's had lasting stay in my meme brain. And that was really how I took in the Jimmy Butler, not reportedly, allegedly news, but the betting market breeze that led to this. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. I'll let you know the obvious pros and cons of Jimmy Butler. And the biggest case, this probably isn't happening. Let's be clear off the jump. There has been no reported alleged action of the Memphis Grizzlies being interested in Jimmy Butler. This is what we do.
That you know of.
That I know of.
That you know of.
That I, Jessica Benson, know of. But it has not trickled out into the story universe. Everybody is just a transaction thought this time of year. That's all anybody wants. Yes, everybody is searching.
A transaction
thought.
Thought?
Yeah, like everyone's so thirsty for the transactions. That's all people want, okay? Everyone wants something to happen. And if you listen to all the big brains of the NBA, they keep saying over and over how difficult it is to make trades in the new world of the new CBA and the aprons and why it might be a quieter than usual trade deadline. But we get one little sniff of Jimmy Butler.
Of those transaction thoughts, those hoopers over there is what the thought stands for.
Exactly, those hoopers over there. In a court of law. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, we'll get into the Jimmy Butler pros and cons, the cons of the Grizzlies road trip, what things look like tonight against a Mavs team that will be without Luka and without Kyrie, but the Grizzlies down many, many bodies as well. We'll get into all that when we come back.
May was at Florida Atlantic last year. Tonight you'll watch him coach at Michigan. So why do I care if a football player decides to leave one place where he's making whatever money to go somewhere where he's making even more? It's what most coaches do every year. So I cannot stand it, and I mean can't stand it when the coaches sit up there and act like these young people are doing something wrong.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Somebody who really has done what they were supposed to do, or maybe wasn't expected to do, is Jalen Wells, the Western Conference Rookie of the Month.
What you're seeing right now is him showing that, hey, no matter where I was going to go in the draft, I was going to be ready.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
I can't wait to see what your number one. If that's your number two.
Number one for me.
Come on, man.
I listen to the Bells, Luther Vandross. I love Luther Vandross's Christmas album.
I gotta go back and listen to that one, man. I'm sure I've heard it.
To the Bells and they made me remember. Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Get the squad together for this year's Junior Grizzlies 3-on-3 tournament. Presented by 2K at the Built Ford Tough practice facility inside FedEx Forum. On Saturday, January 4th, teams will compete in 3 games before advancing to single elimination play. Overall winners from the 10 and under, 12 and under, and 14 and under divisions will win Grizzlies tickets, including exclusive access to the pregame team shoot-around before the Grizz take on the Pelicans January 24th. Sign up today at hoopitup.com/Grizzlies.
Grizz Nation, it's time to send Ja, Jaren, and Dez to the 2025 All-Star Game.
Oh! What did we just see, partner?
Take 3! Take 3! Bane for 3. Bingo! This man Bane
Heating it up.
blocked by Jaren.
Most versatile power forward in the game today.
Head to NBA.com/vote, the NBA app, or simply use the QR code on the screen to send your Grizzlies to the All-Star Game today.
Our fans have a huge impact on our ability to play to the level that we're striving for.
Drop off, Morant. Oh! Well, you wanted home crowd involvement.
I love those moments where you see our guys engaging in the fans, and the fans just get pumped up.
They are standing in FedEx Forum.
I would hate to be on the other side with the opposition when FedEx Forum's rolling. That's such an unbelievable relationship that our group has with our fans.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Ring in the new year at Southland Casino Hotel to win your share of over $100,000 in free play, cash, or a 2025 Lexus. On New Year's Eve, we're turning up the energy with incredible entertainment. Dance the night away to the beats of DJ Epic, Jerome Chisholm and the M-Town Band, and an electrifying performance from Troy Laz. There's only one place to win when the clock strikes midnight, Southland Casino Hotel.
Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Welcome back. The Grizzlies going 2-3 on their West Coast road trip with 2 losses over the weekend, seeing them turn it over 23 times against the Golden State Warriors will make you do crazy things with your brain. And suddenly, Jimmy Butler fantasies are playing everywhere in the city of Memphis. I will say, first and foremost, as it has been widely noted, trading Jimmy Butler, period, for the Heat is a very difficult thing. And the most likely of scenarios is that Jimmy Butler is most likely still on the Miami Heat post-trade deadline. Now, just because there's pessimism doesn't mean there's not opportunity for something to happen. It would likely have to involve 3 teams. You can note his $48 million he's owed this season and his $52 million player option that looms over all of this, and the fact that the Miami Heat don't want to be bad this year. Like, the Miami Heat don't want to miss the playoffs, because if they miss the playoffs this year, then they end up having to give their 2026 first-round pick to Oklahoma City, and because of some rule where you can't lose your first rounder in 2 consecutive seasons, then that bumps the pick that they owe the Hornets for the Terry Rozier trade to 2028. So that's a long time of having to punt your first rounders. So you don't want to miss the postseason if you are the Miami Heat. However, it comes down to, can a team create a package that makes sense for Miami? Is there a team desperate enough? Many will mention the Phoenix Suns that seem desperate of all desperation. However, what do you do with the looming contract, $110 million of Bradley Beal and his no-trade clause? They did move Bradley Beal to the bench over the weekend in Phoenix, so that's worth following. The Warriors were noted as a potential suitor, but then further reporting yesterday said that most likely isn't going to work. And so, we get to the point of like, well, could the Grizzlies do it? And if the Grizzlies were able to get Jimmy Butler on a steal, you doubt that the Heat are operating under the nature of willingness to provide a steal to another team. But if they just want to get rid of him, it seems like every package starts with Marcus Smart and Luke Kennard. And then what else gets filtered in there? I have seen Brandon Clark. I have seen Desmond Bane. I have seen Gigi Jackson.
All fictitious, fictional, just Grizzlies fans and national pundits need something to talk about.
Prognosticating.
Because it
Football's
is that time.
winding down.
Football's winding down. It's that time of the season where we got to talk about those hoopers over there, also known as transaction thoughts. Go ahead.
Y'all are out there in those streets. Those trade machine streets are fired up at all times. I will say, as I marinated,
some combination of Smart and Kennard
feel like the go-tos.
And then something else.
And then something else.
Gotcha.
And it's the something else where I lose interest. I will say the reactionary approach to seeing the Grizzlies struggle on this road trip, and so much can be applied to they're not healthy. Like, they are without John Morant. They have been without Marcus Smart. Right now they are without Santi Aldama. They're still without Gigi Jackson. They're still without Vince Williams Jr. But at some point you do have to get into the realism of you haven't seen a ton of reps with your projected main guys. And do you gamble on that working, or do you see some issues with this team as it is currently constructed that you might want to upgrade in terms of making a run at the finals this year? Because it does, the more we see Victor Wembanyama play basketball, the more it's like, oh God, the Wemby era is near and dear. Like, he was wild over the weekend. The 2 games between the Spurs and the Nuggets were the 2 best games, and Shout out to the NBA making it impossible to find them as always, but the Spurs get one.
Wonder why TV numbers are low.
You wonder why. All I wanted to do was watch Wemby and Jokic battle it out after on Friday night. There had been a wild finish where Wemby got a steal at the last minute, led to a Devin Vassell finish, and the Spurs got the win. And then Saturday went to overtime where the Nuggets ruined Victor Wembanyama's 21st birthday, and Jokic went off for 46, 9, and 10. All that said, that just highlights the urgency in the West. And for the Grizzlies, you cannot look at Jimmy Butler and not say this is a player who is a big wing, who can defend, who can create, and who can win in the playoffs. 1, 2, 3, that checks 3 boxes. Now, you add the other side of what he has done to force himself off of teams, the potential locker room issues, and you can't just ignore that, right? Like, you have good chemistry within this Grizzlies group. There's relatively low drama. I will say, the Zodiac GM, and you know I love me some Zodiac signs, CJ. Zodiac GM does say he's an A-plus fit with both the Grizzlies core and with the Grizzlies coaching staff. He is a Virgo with a Pisces moon. Don't ask me what that means. I let the Zodiac GM interpret it for me.
When did this become a thing? I want more of this.
I love that it did.
I want more of, who is this, Zodiac GM?
Yes.
Give me more of that.
I've been talking about Zodiac GM for
not to me.
Years. You don't listen.
I don't.
Your man brain shuts off when we start talking about the signs.
There's no need for that.
Sorry.
I thought you were going to be nicer this
I'm
year.
trying.
No, you're not.
I'm trying my best.
I didn't
say nicer. I said more positive.
So insulting me for being a man, something I can't control,
you're
is
like
positive?
Nosferatu. You're like Nosferatu with your evil shadow of negativity creeping over the studio. I was actually going to use the Nosferatu reference with Victor Wembanyama as his creeping shadow comes over the NBA.
He is looming.
I saw it this weekend, so it's fresh on the mind.
Is it good?
I liked it. It's like a solid B movie to me, but the acting was great. It looked beautiful.
Is it good?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. And that's not usually my cup of tea. A couple nice little jump scare moments, but nothing too scary. It was more like body horror, like just the grotesqueness. Like someone eats a pigeon's head. That's not a spoiler. That's just a reality. That part was pretty gnarly.
Let's go.
Anyway, back to the Jimmy Butler of it all. It's probably not going to happen. These conversations are most likely completely moot and useless. But we do this time of year. And I do think it's fair to wonder what can help the Grizzlies improve to best solidify their chances at making a true run at the Western Conference when you have a team like the Oklahoma City Thunder that have rattled off 15 wins, when you have various teams, when you have the Rockets who are performing above schedule. And what if the Rockets go and make a move? Because that's what this turns into, too. You don't want one of your primary competitors in the West to go make the move that you didn't make. Like that's where this all gets convoluted.
If you're making this move, which I definitely don't know.
You're anti. I've come around on it.
If you're like, I don't know what the franchises are doing. I'm out of that. Please.
I love how clear. We make it so clear. Please. We know no one. We're so unimportant.
Can you imagine being the reason this franchise gets in trouble with the league
Couldn't
for
be
tampering?
Us. We wrote a whole song.
No.
Won't
whole
ever
damn song.
be us.
Won't play. If you do this, you're win now. Because again, you know how this is going to end with Jimmy Butler. It will end with everything in disarray.
Oh yeah, it's win now. It's looking strictly.
If you're doing this, your window, you're saying that your window is no longer 1 to 6, 7 years, right? You're saying your window is
right
1 to 3, because after that third year, when you think about the assets you're giving up, both young talent and draft picks, and then you factor onto that the way he's left franchises before, you're going to be starting over from scratch. That's just how it's going to play out. So that means you got Ja, Jaren, and Dez. Chances are you won't have all 3 of them. And hell, let's be real, you probably won't have 2 of them when this is all said and done while also being without Jimmy Butler, right? So if you're doing this, you're saying, hey, we need to win a championship today or tomorrow, not a week from now. And that's my trepidation with it all. I don't think that you should do that right now with this team, because this team is still really, really good, and who knows what the future might hold next year or the year after that. But, hey, that's just me thinking. I have no connection to anybody in charge. Please, NBA, do not hit us with tampering. Or do not let me be the reason this franchise gets hit with tampering. I think that would be fireable. Like, to be the reason the Grizzlies get fined for tampering? Oh, boy. I would not want to be known as that guy.
Right, and it also comes into Jimmy Butler and his option, and would this be a rental of a year, and what does that do salary structure? And if he did want to re-sign and work something out with the Grizzlies, like, he's going to be 36 years old. That's the piece of people who are saying, well, is Jimmy just going to sit out the rest of the season? And the fine implications of that and the allowance of that. Like, he also wants to play. He wants to continue to be good. Like, he can not opt into his $52 million player option, but the man still wants to get paid. Like, this is a business at the end of the day. You don't leave that much money on the table.
Top 15 player, he's an all-NBA player.
Yeah.
Forget all-star, he's an all-NBA player. When you that size, who can defend and score at every level, and pit team, we've seen him do it. Pit teams on his back and
drag them to the finals.
Like, come on, man.
Not just drag them down the street to the finals.
Not through a first round.
No.
Not winning a couple of games in the second round. Just, hey, hop on. I'm going to carry you guys, no matter how exhausted I get, I'm carrying you guys to the finals. Yeah, that dude wants to get paid.
And, like, for the people saying, you know, he hasn't played more than 64 games since 2017 in a season, okay, we're on the other side of that, you know? Like, this is a playoff move. And when I do think of a Ja, Dez, Jimmy Butler, I also, you know, I love a JB initial. Let's just call it what it is. Jaren Jackson Jr. and Zach Edey starting 5 gets me excited.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler, thinking about anybody's team with Jimmy Butler on it makes you excited. It should, because we don't make players that way. We call them two-way guys now, but, like, he's a hooper who competes hard defensively and offensively and does the little things, right? So we don't make a bunch of those. You stick Jimmy Butler on the Pistons roster, for crying out loud. They would be excited. Like, and well, you should be. I do wonder, though, what that would potentially mean. Not that it's going to happen again. Don't get me for tampering. What that would mean for somebody like Desmond Bane. You bring that in, that's getting the shots now. That is the primary offensive thing now.
But then Dez doesn't have to act as a playmaker as much either. It gives you one more person who can create, which I do think this team desperately needs in the half court.
He just becomes a spot-up shooter then.
Great. Desmond Bane had 8 turnovers against the Warriors the other night. Dez, Scotty, and Jaren combined for 13 turnovers against the Kings.
Everybody was turning the ball over.
I know. Well, that's a problem with this team, period.
The Warriors included in that. Like, it was a tough game to watch.
I don't want to like rub salt in the wound of losing to the Warriors, but the number of times without Steph, the number of times my husband goes, "You just don't understand how bad we are right now." I was like, I get it. I get it. He goes, no, like, you guys, you can't lose this game. And then alas, the Grizzlies do lose the game. And turnovers and three-point defense, certainly significant worrisome things coming out of the road trip. However, this team is still not full strength. They'll be even less full strength tonight when they take on the Dallas Mavericks. As it appears, Desmond Bane will join the list of players out for this group. He is doubtful with an ankle sprain. Luke Kennard also still out with hamstring soreness. He missed the game against the Warriors. Sounds like a great opportunity for the Jaren Jackson Jr. show. It is a bummer. I had my dad come to town. Carl's in town. You'll see him tomorrow. Came to town, was circling like a good game opportunity to come watch the Grizzlies. I was like, you want to know what sounds great? January 6th, National Kelly Clarkson Day, and Grizzlies Mavs here at FedEx Forum. You can go with Chris. You'll have a good time. And now, no Ja, no Luka, no Kyrie. It does represent the bummer of...
Is Jaren playing?
Jaren Jackson Jr. is playing, and I think you should vote for him for All-Star, and I think you can't vote for him for All-NBA, but he certainly is playing at an All-NBA caliber.
Is Huff out there?
I think Jay Huff's out there. You might get a reverse.
You definitely gonna get a reverse if Huff is out there.
We haven't had a reverse in a second.
That means we're due.
Due factor. Due factor. Get your tickets. FedEx Forum box office, Ticketmaster.com. Come out and see the Grizzlies and the Mavs tonight. Yes. And do your All-Star voting. Vote for Ja. Vote for Jaren. Vote for Desmond Bane. Vote for whoever else you want. Did you see the G League Rising? Is it the Rising Stars?
I think so.
Or Next Man Up?
Okay.
The Hustle annihilated the fan voting. Yuki's fans came for everybody. Colin Castleton, Mal Pereira, they're all up there.
Well,
Armando Baycott.
Tell Yuki fans to get in there and get Jaren some love.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yuki Kawamura, super fans. can help Jaren Jackson Jr. get enough of the fan vote. He should end up in the All-Star game anyway. We will take a quick break. We'll ask Gary Parrish what he thinks about all of this. Plus, the Memphis Tigers, a little too close for comfort yesterday against North Texas. PJ Haggerty said the AAC not as bad as everybody is saying it is. I'll get GP's takes on that, plus the Golden Globes when we come back.
Gotta fit LaMelo in there. You see the Angelo song?
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
This team is doing everything that Taylor Jenkins and his coaching staff envisioned it could do.
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
How about them
How
Tigers?
about the Tigers?
Go.
Beat Tulane in a game that nobody called, nobody thought was going to happen. They were a 2-touchdown underdog, and they got the win.
Number 25 in the AP right now, number 24 in the coaches poll right now. So this is a Tigers football team that's going to end the regular season ranked in both major polls, possibly ranked in the CFP as well, with 10 wins. That's a damn good season.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Somebody who really has done what they were supposed to do, or maybe wasn't expected to do, is Jalen Wells, the Western Conference Rookie of the Month.
What you're seeing right now is him showing that, hey, no matter where I was going to go in the draft, I was going to be ready.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
ESPN put out a list. Top 30 best pro wrestlers under 30 in the world today. Number 1, Dirty Dom. Number 2, MJF.
I think Dom is deserving to be number 1. I think he is probably, like I said, one of the greatest heels in the last 10, 15 years. Like you said, he can't talk on the microphone.
The fans love it because they feel like they're a part of the show.
And that's the best.
Without their booze, he's not the best heel.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Get the squad together for this year's Junior Grizzlies 3-on-3 tournament. Presented by 2K at the Built Ford Tough practice facility inside FedEx Forum. On Saturday, January 4th, teams will compete in 3 games before advancing to single elimination play. Overall winners from the 10 and under, 12 and under, and 14 and under divisions will win Grizzlies tickets, including exclusive access to the pregame team shoot-around before the Grizz take on the Pelicans January 24th. Sign up today at hoopitup.com/Grizzlies.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Our fans have a huge impact on our ability to play to the level that we're striving for.
Drop off, Durant. Oh! Well, you wanted home crowd involvement.
I love those moments where you see our guys engaging in the fans, and the fans just get pumped up.
They are standing in FedEx Forum.
I would hate to be on the other side with the opposition when FedEx Forum's rolling. That's such an unbelievable relationship that our group has with our fans.
Welcome back. It is Monday. That means it's time to catch up with Gary Parrish, host of the Gary Parrish Show. Weekday mornings at 10 a.m. on Grind City Media. He joins us in a beanie because it's cold.
It's colder than it should be.
Is that fair? It's January 6th.
I know.
It's a cold day in American history, Gary. Come on.
It is weird that you just said a date and it just like triggered something in my head.
Well, it's also National Kelly Clarkson Day on our show.
Yeah, those things go together. I think.
Yeah.
I think they go together.
Gary,
No,
real quick,
come
before
on.
we get going, Kelly Clarkson, top 200 vocalist of all time.
I mean, I don't have a list in front of me. She can sing.
Does it sound? Does that seem okay for you? A statement like
It's
that to be
simple.
made?
Say yes.
Yeah, I'll say yes, but
Great.
like
Thank you.
of all time.
Thank you for being on the right side of history.
200?
CJ still has the courage to do the right thing if one day he comes back around. But for now,
She's not a top 5 vocalist of American Idol history.
Like, I can't speak to it with any sort of intelligence because I don't have the list in
you
front
can.
of me.
It's simple. I'll send you some videos.
Okay, but she could.
Here at Grind City Media, we only send appropriate videos of Kelly Clarkson doing fantastic covers, as opposed to other media
And we don't
entities.
even have makeup artists.
I don't have a single makeup artist. Let me be clear. I don't have a hair person. I don't have a makeup artist.
We
It's
have
all
makeup.
me.
We have makeup artists in New York.
Oh, great. Okay. What do you
and-
say?
I'm just saying we have them. I'm just saying they
just
exist.
a fact. That's fine.
It's just a statement
you.
of fact. And hand to heart,
Honest to God.
I never propositioned any of them.
Thank you for making that perfectly clear.
Never said anything inappropriate. to
I wasn't
any of them,
asking
I don't
you.
think.
I wasn't going to ask you to come on here. And I'm not asking all men in the industry to come on their shows today because
I have done my
I'm not
best.
sure all of them could answer with the hand on the heart.
Yeah.
I don't know. Offering $1.2 million.
It was 5.
I'm sorry, 5.
And if I found out my wife turned down 1.5, I'd divorce her right now.
I mean, 1.5 is the
lot
type
of
of thing.
money.
I mean,
It's
I don't even know.
life-changing.
I can't say. That's a lot of money, though.
Yeah, but now you could get more money.
Oh yeah, she gonna do better than 1.5. It
I
sounds
think
like
it's gonna be okay.
she gonna get better than 1.5.
Anywho,
Yeah.
here in Memphis, Gary, I feel like we've already spent way too much time on it because it's likely never going to happen. It might not even be a real conversation.
Right.
But all of the Grizzlies world tuned their attention into the Jimmy Butler sweepstakes over the weekend as betting odds made it seem that perhaps the Grizzlies were in the lead to land Jimmy Butler. Now other betting odds have them as low as 7th of getting Jimmy Butler. This happens this time
Sure.
of year, but I'm just curious where you fall on the ledge.
I'm open to the idea of it. I think I'd lean toward, at the end of the day, I'm probably going to just pass on this.
Like when you do the pro-con list.
There are pros.
Yes.
Like there are things in that box. I don't have any interest in Jimmy Butler being here for 3 years.
No.
Or any sort of long-term deal. I would almost rather him be a rental. Like ship out what you got to ship out. Come play the rest of the season with us. Be our Kawhi Leonard, and let's see if we can raise a banner. And then good luck.
Like I rent my clothes.
There you go.
You know.
If you
And
can rent your clothes, you can rent Jimmy Butler.
I think so.
I would almost be more if you talk about this. And obviously there's numbers involved and years involved and what's going out and are you attaching picks to it? Like there's a million different versions of how this could play out. Some of them make sense. Some of them make no sense. But if you did tell me your options are just get him for the rest of the season, he's a rental. But you might really flip into right there with OKC and Boston as the favorites to win the title. Like you make this move and people will go on television and say, you're right there with the Thunder and the Celtics to win the championship. All right? I would almost rather that than you get him, he opts out of his contract, and then you can re-sign him to another 3-year, $100 million. I don't want him for 3 years.
I don't need that.
It doesn't end well with him anywhere, all right? It always ends the exact same way and not good. So I'll take the rental where he's got to rehab his image so that he can get another payday.
Because he wants that too.
Yeah.
That benefits him.
He got to
in his
come
best
here,
interest.
come here, act right, win, prove to people it wasn't really me.
And I'm not done yet.
Right. And then go get the big payday.
Because you'll have people saying crazy stuff right now, like, Jimmy Butler's not even that good. That's a lie. Jimmy Butler, when he has played
When the
this
lights come
season,
on, he's
has
good.
been
When
very
the
good.
lights
And-
come on and he's engaged, he's great.
And he's in an important game.
Yes.
He's great.
Yes.
He's still Jimmy Butler. I'm with you. Maybe perhaps we talk so much about heat culture and how they do it so well, and people have started to say, Grizz culture is something that could be chasing that. Maybe heat culture just didn't understand Jimmy Butler. He's a short timer. You have short timers in many places of employment.
Or relationships.
Or
They
relationships.
say, are you here for a reason or are you here for a season? And Jimmy Butler is always here for a season, not for a reason.
And if you understand that, maybe you get the best out of Jimmy Butler for a short time period. And
Yeah,
then
like
move onward.
that makes sense to me that he's genuinely motivated to come here, be on his best behavior, and win, not for the reasons you would perhaps prefer, but who cares what his motivation is if it all leads you to the same place? So I would be open to that if it made sense. I would also, and there's a lot of boxes you got to check here. You got to tell me what I'm losing. There are packages where I'd say, all right, go. Like, get out of here. Bring Jimmy Butler and take a shot at this. Let's take a shot. And there are other packages where I say, no, we're not doing that. I think another box you got to check is, I'm going to talk to Jaren, and I'm going to talk to Ja, and I'm going to talk to Dez, and I'm going to assume those three are all untouchable.
Yes.
They obviously are.
Even the people who have put Dez in, like when I read one of the packages that
That is
has
not
Desmond
happening.
Bain in it, I'm like, okay, next.
That's the one where I would
Give me your
I
next
would
one.
come in here the next day and say I would not have done that.
Yeah.
All right. But I'm assuming those three are untouchable, and I would want to talk
All
to
the language thus far from the front office, from the organization.
Yeah, and I would
has
want
been
to
that
talk
that is
to,
your
and I
big
would want to
three.
talk to all three of them. And I want to say, how you feel about this? Like, this is your team. We built this around you guys.
Because
And
it definitely changes the.
It changes everything.
It does change everything. Who is your? Is it a 1A, 1B situation? How do Ja and Jimmy correlate? How does Jaren go from being, honestly, the option this season and your most utilized player, mostly because of his health this season, and we should get a big old Jaren Jackson Jr. game against the Dallas Mavericks tonight if the Grizzlies are without Desmond Bain and continue to be without Ja Morant. But no, I'm with you. And how does that affect a locker room and the chemistry? Like, it is a big, it's not something you do willy-nilly, which is why
I
no
probably
one's
want to
doing
talk to
it that
Taylor
way.
Jenkins too.
I think that'd be smart.
And not all front offices need to talk to their coaching staffs about personnel decisions, but I would in this case. I mean, you're playing a new style. It's working. You're third in the West, despite leading the league in games missed by players. Still, things are good right now. I mean, I know they're not good this weekend, but largely.
Which is why I feel like this
if you just
spun
snap your
out in the
fingers-
way that it did. If the Grizzlies went 4-1 on this road trip, I think far less people are even entertaining the idea of Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, maybe, but I still think you gotta at least think about it.
Yeah.
Now, what's interesting is there are people I respect, smart basketball people, and I mean every answer you're looking for to the question is out there. Should they do it? I mean, Matt Moore said absolutely not, and better yet, nobody should do it. Do not trade for Jimmy Butler; you'll regret it. That's Matt Moore. He follows the sport as close as anybody. He says don't do it under any circumstances. There are other people who say you don't do it for this, but you do it for that. You don't do it if he's going to opt into his contract, but if you can get a wink that he's going to opt out and maybe work with you on a longer deal for shorter and all right. Now let's talk about that. I think it is something you have to entertain, but at the end of the day, everything is kind of good right now. And everybody here in every other market in the NBA is always pointing to the playoffs. When the playoffs start, if we're healthy. All right, well, who knows if you're ever going to be healthy? There's no way to guarantee that. But if I told you right now, the playoffs are starting today, the Grizzlies are the 3 seed in the West, and the roster's healthy. Oklahoma City's a monster, it looks like, but let's go. Let's go do this. Now, the next question would be, Jimmy Butler to that, does that make you better? Does it take you from here to here? And I think there is a scenario where it does. But I got to know all the deals. I got to know all the names and numbers before I can say, let's pull the trigger. But it's worth discussing, sure.
The other Memphis men's basketball team, the Memphis Tigers, beat North Texas yesterday, 68-64, thanks to a dagger by PJ Haggerty.
Right.
Colin Cody over at WRAG renamed him PJ Daggerty,
That was good.
and that was really good work from my dear friend Colin.
I hate it when people...
Someone comes up with something better than what you came up with?
No, because I don't try to come up with them. I'm not anti-nickname, but I don't participate. Like when people say things like, all right, now we've got so-and-so coming off the bench. What are we going to nickname them? Or, we've got everybody's always trying to look for nicknames.
Yeah.
What are we going to call this? And I'm like, I don't know. Let's just call it G.G. Jackson and leave it alone. I don't need the nickname.
Did you have a nickname growing up? Is this personal?
Well, no, not at all. To my friends that I grew up with, I am still Little Gary. If I ran into...
Why?
Well, because my dad was Big Gary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so I was Little Gary. And so that's the way, if I'm at Kroger and I bump into somebody I played 10-year-old baseball with, they'll be like, Little Gary or El Gary. I think El Gary would. El Gary or Little Gary, yeah.
Do they ever do LGP?
Never heard that one.
Okay.
But Scoop, and it was for baseball. It wasn't actually for journalism. But when I was little, I was a second baseman, and I was pretty good at fielding ground balls.
Oh.
Not so good at making.
And then you were pretty good at getting the scoop.
Not so good at making the proper throws. I didn't have the arm to make all the throws, but I was pretty good at catching it. So I'd nickname Scoops. I had 2 nicknames maybe, Lil Gary and Scoop.
Okay.
And Scoop had nothing to do with journalism, but if I ever tell the story to somebody, they assume that it did.
Yeah. Well, I always wonder because Gary's just a name
it's
that you
awful.
go by.
It's
You know,
all-
like
yes.
I'm Jessica.
Yeah.
So I had Jessie,
And
which
Jess.
was my life for a long time, and Jess is the short. I
JB.
did get JB.
Yeah.
That's really it.
Yeah.
But you don't have any natural, like it's not. No one's
GP. I
calling
mean,
you
a lot of people call me GP.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I'm so obsessed. One of the reasons I won't change my last name is because I'm JB. And Chris is like, you can't be so obsessed with your initials. I said, well, I am. That's part of my name.
Like there are certain consonants that sound good together.
Yeah.
And GP is one of them.
JB.
Yeah. JB.
CJ.
GP. CJ.
It's his full name.
Yeah.
The Memphis Tigers.
Yeah.
The shot
My
was
point
great.
was, I've got PJ Daggerty is a great nickname.
Yes.
I like it when they happen, just sort of like they just sort of happen.
Yeah.
I don't like it when people get together and try to.
We have to make a nickname.
I don't want to make them. I just
agree.
like them to happen.
It was great.
Yeah.
You had a dagger. You realized his name's Haggerty. He's now PJ Daggerty.
Fine with me.
And it was wonderful.
Fine, I co-sign it.
PJ Haggerty/Daggerty after the game
Yeah.
said the AAC is not as easy as people say. Is that a fair statement, Gary, or is that the statement you make after you come a little too close to comfort against North Texas?
I say this as respectfully as I can say it. It's a statement you make when you don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
And I know that sounds harsh. I don't mean it harshly. I just think most college basketball players are not looking at the data and studying it the way, say, people who have to talk about this stuff and write about this stuff do. And I see it with coaches sometimes too. Coaches sometimes will be like, yeah, I think we're top 5 defense in America. And you go, well, not even close, bud. What are you basing that on?
Feel.
Yeah.
Vibes.
Yeah, or it's like, I think we belong in the top 25, and it's crazy that we're not in. Based on what? I can't find a single thing that suggests you should be in. Like, no computer, you don't have the quality wins, you've taken this loss. What? I think sometimes people just talk. They don't know what they're talking about. And that's what PJ Haggerty was doing. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The league is awful. It's ranks 10th in the country, below Conference USA.
Right.
Remember how much people hated Conference USA? You are now in a league that rates lower than Conference USA. Your old league that was an embarrassment is now better than the league you're in right now. That's the truth.
Yes. I do think sometimes, specifically as it pertains to PJ Haggerty, like you just played a game.
Yeah.
You just came off of going to FAU, beating the brakes off of that team. Everything feels good. And Penny talked about it after the game. Like he didn't see the response that he would have hoped following that win and how difficult it is to make it through. And we've talked about this. It's hard to win all of your games in conference play, not because the league is better, just because it requires you to be firmly on your P's and Q's every night. And that's just a difficult thing for any team to do. Now, for it to happen to Memphis so early perhaps can generate more of an understanding of you really can lose to anyone on any given night. It's not because the AAC is better than what people are calling it, what the metrics are saying it is. It's simply because that's the nature of basketball.
Exactly right. Like it's not an apples to apples analogy, but I think it hammers home a point. I've used it a million times before, so let's make it 1,000,001. You got to get that checked out. You got to get that checked out.
I've been holding it in.
I need you to go to the doctor. Again.
I'm supposed to go to the ENT Thursday, but I'm going to move it because there's just nothing new with it. Anyway, continue on with your 1,000,001 point, then I'll drink some water.
Okay. Every time Steph Curry goes to the free throw line, what do you think is going to happen?
He's going to make it,
You
Gary.
think he's going to make it, right? And he should. If somebody gave you a $100 bill every time he stepped at the free throw line and said, bet it, yes or no, he's going to make it or not, you'd bet yes every time. He is still going to miss 1 out of every 10, basically, on average. The best shooter of all time, a free throw. These are things he can do with his eyes closed, like quite literally. He's still going to miss 1 out of every 10. Similarly, just because you're playing 10 basketball games in a row that you are supposed to win easily, just like you're shooting a free throw you're supposed to make no problem, you're going to mess up sometimes. And so the goal here is to avoid those as often as possible, but they do happen. And it's not because the league's tough. It's just because trying to win every game without exception is not, that's not something that normally happens.
Exactly. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk to you about the Golden Globes, Gary.
I enjoyed it.
Because you tried to steal being Mr. Movie Guy of Grind City Media. But that's Bennett Doyle's role. And I take great pride in being number 2. And I saw 2 movies over the weekend because I'm trying to make sure you don't come for our crown. But we'll talk about the Golden Globes, Nikki Glaser, everything we saw when we come back.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance, to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Ring in the new year at Southland Casino Hotel to win your share of over $100,000 in free play, cash, or a 2025 Lexus. On New Year's Eve, we're turning up the energy with incredible entertainment. Dance the night away to the beats of DJ Epic, Jerome Chisholm and the M-Town Band, and an electrifying performance from Troy Laz. There's only one place to win when the clock strikes midnight, Southland Casino Hotel.
Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700. Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
This team is doing everything that Taylor Jenkins and his coaching staff envisioned it could do.
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
How about them Tigers?
How about
Go
the
Tigers. Go.
Beat Tulane in a game that nobody called. Nobody thought was going to happen. They were a 2-touchdown underdog, and they got the win.
Number 25 in the AP right now, number 24 in the coaches poll right now. So this is a Tigers football team that's going to end the regular season ranked in both major polls, possibly ranked in the CFP as well, with 10 wins. That's a damn good season.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
I can't wait to see what your number one. If that's your number 2.
Number 1 for me.
Come on, man.
I listen to LaBelle's Luther Vandross. I love Luther Vandross's Christmas album.
I gotta go back and listen to that one, man. I'm sure I've heard it.
To the bells and they made me remember. Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Welcome back. In case you missed it on Friday when I was on Gary's show, he gave me a bunch of SHIT for my notes app that has over 900 notes on it.
That's wild.
But as I was watching the Golden Globes last night and I took out my notes app, I recognized one more thing that I use my notes app for, which is to keep track of during award shows, movies and TV shows that I want to watch because I see them pop up on an award show, and if it's something that I haven't seen and that I'm not familiar with, I add it to my to-watch note.
Sure.
That's a normal thing to do, Gary. Can we agree?
Just not 900 times.
Do you not just have one note that you keep?
No, that's psychotic. I have lots of categories.
So you have a TV note, and you just put all the TV shows that you want to see.
To watch. It's TV and movies.
So that has all of the TV and movies. And then so what's the next title of your note?
Come on.
Shopping in Soho.
Okay.
So it was a list of stores that I wanted to go to in Soho.
But that's over with. Why can't you delete that?
But what if I decide I want to go back to Soho and shop at some point?
She's a notes hoarder.
Yeah.
You're a hoarder.
You're a notes hoarder.
Favorite songs of 2024, which was from our...
So you can change that to favorite songs of 2025.
Yeah, which
what
I
was your
will.
favorite song of 2024?
Which I will.
What was your favorite song?
I think Tyrant from Beyonce. It's Tyrant and Yaya were my two favorite off of Cowboy Carter.
Okay.
I also have Right Back to It, Waxahachie, We Can't Be Friends, Ariana Grande.
Okay.
What You Know About Me, Glorilla.
Oh, yeah.
Luther,
Oh, sure.
Kendrick Lamar,
Yeah,
the last name I won't take.
What a beautiful song that is.
Yeah.
Well,
what was your favorite song? Would you like more notes?
What was my favorite song of 2024?
Yeah.
Probably Euphoria.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. And then I have like Grizzlies Pacers, because I did go through and start deleting the Grizzlies
in
game
fairness
notes
to you,
that I have.
can I be fair to you?
I have to keep track of a lot of things.
I actually can appreciate that you're organized.
Thank you.
I like that you're organized.
Thank you.
And I'm not to that extreme, but I do have things like that, but they're in my computer.
It's the same thing.
It just feels different.
This is so easy. It's why I also read my books on my phone. It's easily accessible.
Yeah.
If I wanted to read, I can just pull out my phone real quick.
If I need to text message somebody and I can get to my computer within 5 minutes, I will not text from the phone. I'll come back to my computer. I'm just more comfortable on the computer.
That's how I am watching the other Grind City Media shows. If I want to participate in the chat, I really struggle to chat from the phone, but I will go back to the computer if I want to like fire up something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a proponent. I'm a proponent of the computer, and I'm also a movie guy.
Anyway, I added a lot of things to my list yesterday, but because you're a movie guy, you inspired me over the weekend to see 2 movies.
What'd you
One
watch?
isn't nominated for anything. It's Nosferatu, the remake of Dracula to some degree, a Dracula-like story, which was actually very good. Bill Skarsgård and Lily Rose Depp. Hate to see a Nepo baby who's really, really good.
Yeah,
but she's really, really good.
Yeah, she's good. She was
in that horrible Idol show with The Weeknd.
Yeah, but I enjoyed her kind of. But
That's
the show was
reason I kept
terrible, but I
watching
kind of
it.
enjoyed her.
It was like a hate watch, but I kept saying, "Oh, this Lily Rose Depp can act,
Yeah.
and she's really good in this movie
Okay.
as well." And then I went and saw A Complete Unknown because you told me that A Complete Unknown was good, and I really liked it. But God, is it long?
I didn't feel like I was in the theater forever.
It's long.
Yeah, but I didn't. I know what you're saying, and but I never felt like I'm bored or like I wish this were over or I'm.
I was not bored, but sometimes I can sense when my husband is getting antsy on something, and then I get antsy, and that's how I felt with it.
Did either one of you grow up with Bob Dylan or listen to Bob Dylan or have any sort of like previous appreciation for that?
So what made it interesting for me specifically is the conversation around the Newport Folk Festival, which for people who don't know, A Complete Unknown, Timothée Chalamet plays Bob Dylan. It's a Bob Dylan biopic, and a large part of it is his growth and rise into popularity, the fight of folk music versus rock and roll, and the appreciation of folk music and how they were able to use Bob Dylan because he was such a great lyricist and writer and really trended into that genre in a very special way for the time, and his relationship with Joan Baez. And it all leads to this Newport Folk Festival where he wants to play his evolving music versus just the folk. I took a class in college called American Roots Music, which has strangely become my most referenced class. I have a degree in not sports broadcasting, in broadcast and digital journalism with a minor in sports media. But my music minor has been something I have referenced far more, specifically this American Roots Music class, because it focused primarily on the Mississippi Delta blues and then moving to Memphis and having a greater understanding of the music from this area. And then it focused on that Newport Folk Festival to a wide degree. My teacher worked at it at some point in his life, and so he was very passionate about it. So I knew the stories of Bob Dylan going into this, which I do think helped in my understanding and my appreciation of it. You don't need to have the background knowledge.
Because like my little guys, like they've been exposed to Bob Dylan just because you're going to be in a car with me or their mother. But they don't they're not upstairs rocking Bob Dylan playing Fortnite.
Okay.
But we took them to see it, and they both enjoyed it.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, they both loved it. And when we got in the car driving home, wanted to listen to Bob Dylan instead of Juice WRLD for the first time in a while. So, I think it's probably helpful if you are familiar with Bob Dylan and the catalog and all that stuff on some level. But I don't think you need to know anything to walk into the theater and enjoy that. And I felt bad for Timothée Chalamet last night.
Me too, because I was rooting for him.
And I don't even know who should have won because I haven't seen all the performances.
So The Brutalist is getting a lot of buzz right now, and it's 3.5
with an intermission.
hours long. I'm going to wait and watch it at home.
And loves it.
He saw The Brutalist.
I think he said he saw The Brutalist.
I had a friend who saw it and said it was fantastic. And Adrian Brody won for Best Actor last night.
Right, and so I can't speak to Timothée Chalamet was robbed because maybe
I haven't seen it yet.
Right, maybe Adrian Brody is amazing, but you know how most actors in that setting, like they know the camera's on them, and they try to show excitement for the other person. And they smile, and sometimes they clap, and sometimes they get genuinely like, woo, and whatever. And sometimes it's real, I guess. Other times it's
like Sofia Vergara for Jodie Foster last night, winning Best Actress in a Limited Series.
And I don't know, like I didn't go back and watch it. I was just experiencing it live. But when they announced Adrian Brody, and I like looked at Timothée Chalamet, and he just sort of, he smiled the right way. Yeah. I just saw like a sense of disappointment just come over him, because I watched. This is what I do. Like I don't just watch a movie. I mean I do sometimes, but like if it's interesting to me, then
I make a note about it.
You make notes, and I just start watching everything I can.
So do
I
listen to podcasts.
And I watch interviews, and I've watched a bunch of Timothée Chalamet interviews. Him talking about this performance and the prep. He like spent years, like 4 or 5 years, getting ready for this, and you just know how much he put into it, and how much he seems. Like pleased with himself, and like I don't know, genuinely like excited for people to see it and experience it, and just he talks about it with such enthusiasm that I just felt like he had this moment last night where, and maybe I'm just projecting, but it's like, man, I put everything I got into this, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah, it is interesting because the Golden Globes don't always give a
precursor,
precursor to how the rest of the awards season will go, but you can't deny certain buzz can happen.
Sure.
Like it doesn't look good for Wicked to lose everything except for the cheap award that they give the like money-making movie of the year. Like the best experience at the box office goes to Wicked. And I thought Cynthia Erivo probably felt disappointed. Right. I mean, of course, anyone who loses feels disappointed. But Demi Moore winning for The Substance, which I have yet to see. Did you watch The Substance?
I did.
Did she deserve a Best Actress? Obviously not knowing all the other...
Of the performances I've seen, I would have given it to Mikey Madison.
Yeah.
I thought
that was a disappointing night for Honora.
It didn't get anything.
No, and for smaller movies that need the help of an awards show lift, like a movie like Honora, Wicked doesn't need any more money, but it would be nice to get the recognition. Honora, people won't see it if there's not this buzz of like Maggie Madison is going to win Best Actress.
Because of The Brutalist one last, people today are going to be like, let's go see that.
Same with Amelia Perez, and every movie podcast that I respect hated Amelia Perez, which is a wild thing to be sitting here this morning. And they won multiple, including Best Musical Comedy.
So of the performances I've seen, I would have given the award to Mikey. Not like I'm a film critic or anything.
I know, we're just talking about this for fun.
Yeah.
Like, you're growing into the movie. If you're gonna be Mr. Movie Man.
I know, but I never want to talk about this like I'm like,
no, it's just
like I'm an authority on it. It's just what I
yeah.
enjoy on a very surface level. I thought she was fabulous.
Yeah.
I thought the movie was great. I love sort of the open interpretation. I don't want to ruin it, but the ending's a little open for interpretation. I enjoy that because now I'm reading for 2 hours about different theories, and I just thought her performance was wonderful. And but the Substance it's a wild film, like
yes,
wild.
Speaking of body horror,
and Demi Moore was great. And
that's the first award she's ever won.
I loved all of that.
Me too.
I was okay, so I would have given the award to Mikey Madison, but I was happy Demi Moore won it after she delivered that speech. I mean, that was that was perfect. I mean, she knocked it out of the park. And it's just sort of weird. You see all her forever insecurities just right there.
I know. And she's like stunned. So I read her memoir a few years back and became a Demi Moore fan, I guess, in that moment, and coming off of her relationship with Ashton Kutcher. It was just a very interesting read. And so I root for her now, which is interesting how that happens with all of these celebrities. Like, they're all rich, they're all famous. They don't need me rooting for them in any way, shape, or form. But I did think it was beautiful between her and Pamela Anderson, like two aging women who were pigeonholed as, I think she called, Demi Moore said, someone called her a popcorn actress. Well, like, that's Pamela Anderson was a sex symbol.
Well, there was a time where Demi Moore, like Pamela Anderson was sort of a different category. Demi Moore was like the biggest actress in the world at one point, but it was like, all right, take your shirt off.
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff.
Stop shaving your head. Stop trying to be serious.
Yeah, it was just...
Right, because she was G.I. Jane.
Yeah. But yeah, and it was like, okay, so it must be weird, and I don't know, I never put this much thought into it, but you spent your whole life making all this money and being in all these films, but nobody ever says you're good. Nobody ever actually says, hey, you know, you're really great at this. They're just like, hey, you look nice, and you can deliver lines for these types of movies. And so you from a distance, you're like, man, Demi Moore, what? And the whole time she's like,
am I good?
Yeah.
Do I have value outside of my outer presence?
I just think it's really interesting.
Yeah,
that at one point, the biggest actress in the world, still carried around all these insecurities about do I even, I'm not. So then you start to age, and it's like, man, well, they've been telling me my whole life, I'm not Glenn Close, I'm not Meryl Streep.
So like, where do I stand?
What do I do now?
Do I have a place here?
I just thought the whole thing was sweet.
Yeah, me
like
too.
And I thought Adrian Brody's speech was wonderful. Like, I wanted other people to win, but I thought they delivered incredible speeches.
I love when I get an incredible speech. Last thing, Nikki Glaser was the host.
Yeah.
I thought she was tremendous.
I did too.
I find Nikki Glaser so funny. I am very upset that I did not go to her show when she was here in Memphis last month.
Right.
That will be a regret that I have. But in a world where people are constantly, it's interesting, of all the hosts, people have established they want more Ricky Gervais, less Jimmy Kimmel.
Right.
And I think Nikki Glaser is better than both of them.
She sort of fell in the middle. Like
I think that's the secret sauce. Like that's
Ricky
the
Gervais
sweet
is out there
spot.
being mean. He is hilarious, but mean. Hilarious though. And Jimmy Kimmel is whatever he is. And but she was just really good. Yeah. And I watched, like, in the spirit of watch, there was this interesting podcast sort of clip I saw on YouTube. She was on Conan O'Brien's podcast, and they were just sort of talking about the Tom Brady roast and this, and she was like, here's the truth, like that Tom Brady roast, you have no idea how much time I put into that.
Yeah.
Like I hired a team of writers. I'm like, I'm not just gonna do this by myself. I hired a team of writers. I went and worked it out in clubs and clubs and clubs, and by the time I got there, it was just like memorized. I like had it. And I just thought there was a lesson in there for anybody who performs for a living. Like, whether you're doing a show or she's hosting the Golden Globes, most of the work is got to be done in advance. Most of the work's got to be done in advance. Like, I'm about to go do a show. I know every word I'm about to say.
Yeah.
I've already said it.
Yeah.
I mean, not, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
But I
you have
know,
a background.
I know exactly what I'm doing, and now I just have to go deliver it. I don't have to go do a show as much as I just have to deliver what I've already got.
8 pages of notes.
There you go.
2,300 words.
Right. There you go.
You don't say all of them,
right,
but it guides you through it because you have to have the preparation. I don't think it was the one on Conan, but she talked about that roast, and like her one regret from that roast was the joke to Giselle. Because she said, I was there for a Tom Brady roast, and I felt bad. Like, she essentially apologized. Right. All those things that people are like, oh, never apologize for comedy. Right. And she genuinely felt bad about it, which I think probably happens to comedians. Like, sometimes when you're free-willing it, you say something that ultimately you look back on, you say, you know what was that necessary? Maybe not. It doesn't mean apologizing for your comedy. It doesn't mean being, like, soft about comedy. It's just a reality that happens.
Well, like, Sarah Silverman has talked about this, hosting the MTV Awards at one point, or she was
yes, the Britney Spears one.
Yeah, and she was like, I felt bad. Like, I made fun of that young woman, that very fragile woman, in front of the world, and everybody laughed, and she was not laughing. And like Britney, I think subsequently said that really hurt me. And
she wrote about it in her book.
Yeah, and then Sarah Silverman was like, I wish I could take that back.
My favorite Glazer joke, at least from the opener, was the bear, the penguin, and baby reindeer, not things you find in RFK's freezer. That was good. And I thought she did the Diddy joke well. Yeah. That's a tough joke to make right now in the entertainment industry. And people laughed, thought it was funny, talked about how the after party not going to be the same because Stanley Tucci Freakoff just doesn't do the same thing. No baby oil, just olive oil. And I was like, that's when you're really at the height of your game, when you can make jokes like that in that room and people laugh and feel comfortable enough to laugh with you. Like, I get that some people love watching those things for the discomfort that like a Ricky Gervais creates. I think it's more fun when we're all laughing together.
Yeah, and she's like, obviously she's got the jokes, but like she's very good at delivery. The best comedians it's the delivery. They can all write jokes, some better than others, obviously, but the delivery, and she's got that down. And beyond that, she seems real likable and also self-deprecating. She just checks all these boxes. I'm a fan of hers. Like,
me too.
Yeah.
Hey, GP, thanks for crossing your heart and promising that we don't have makeup artists here at Grind City Media. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Appreciate the comfortable, safe space that is created here.
If I go down, it ain't gonna be none of that nonsense.
Watch Gary's show coming up at 10, Grind City Media. We'll take a quick break. We'll talk about Week 18 in the NFL and Black Monday. Coaches are getting fired. Some of them got fired before today. I have a problem with that. I'll tell you why when we come back.
ESPN put out a list. Top 30 best pro wrestlers under 30 in the world today. Number 1, Dirty Dom. Number 2, MJF.
I think Dom is deserving to be number 1. I think he is probably, like I said, one of the greatest heels in the last 10, 15 years. Like you said, he can't talk on the microphone.
The fans love it because they feel like they're a part of the show.
And that's the best.
Without their booze, he's not the best heel.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Get the squad together for this year's Junior Grizzlies 3-on-3 tournament. Presented by 2K at the Built Ford Tough practice facility inside FedEx Forum. On Saturday, January 4th, teams will compete in 3 games before advancing to single elimination play. Overall winners from the 10 and under, 12 and under, and 14 and under divisions will win Grizzlies tickets, including exclusive access to the pregame team shoot-around before the Grizz take on the Pelicans January 24th. Sign up today at hoopitup.com/Grizzlies.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals takes it straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
There's no substitute for experience, the knowledge gained from having been there before, and the passion to share what you know to make everyone around you better. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
I'm not going to let you get away with this.
Yeah, that's fine. I deserve it.
You walked in here on Friday afternoon and said
the smoke
every day for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
You have said, I am John Buckeye.
I said once the playoff matchups were made, you asked what I thought. I said Ohio State's going to beat them by double digits. I said Ohio State's. I walked it all back and went John Vol. I joined General Nealon's Navy.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
This team is doing everything that Taylor Jenkins and his coaching staff envisioned it could do.
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
How about them Tigers? Go.
Beat Tulane in a game that nobody called. Nobody thought was going to happen. They were a 2-touchdown underdog, and they got the win.
Number 25 in the AP right now, number 24 in the coaches poll right now. So this is a Tigers football team that's going to end the regular season ranked in both major polls, possibly ranked in the CFP as well, with 10 wins. That's a damn good season.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
I can't wait to see what your number one. If that's your number two.
Number one for me.
Come on, man.
I listen to LaBelle's Luther Vandross. I love Luther Vandross's Christmas album.
I gotta go back and listen to that one, man. I'm sure I've heard it.
To the bells and they made me remember. Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Welcome back. It is a Memphis Grizzlies game day, and the hottest place to be on this very cold day in Memphis is inside the friendly confines of FedEx Forum, where the Grizzlies are 14-4 this season, coming off a tough road trip. No better place to be than cheering on the Grizzlies as they take on the Dallas Mavericks 2 nights, a chance to get revenge on a Mavericks team that beat them in Dallas earlier this season. I don't care that the Mavericks don't have Luka. I don't care that the Mavericks don't have Kyrie. I don't care that the Grizzlies don't have John Morant and maybe Desmond Bane and Luke Kennard and Marcus Smart and Gigi Jackson and Vince Williams Jr. and Santi Aldama. Whatever. Give me the Jaren Jackson Jr. show. Give it to me now.
I'm assuming Gafford and Lively are playing. Give me this. This is those bigs with these bigs and Jaren and Edie. Color me interested. I am super excited about this game. I want to see what the Grizzlies bigs can do against a Mavericks front court with Lively and Gafford, who are athletic, who make plays above the rim, who are tenacious on the glass as well. This could potentially
a little more bounce.
This could potentially be a playoff matchup as well. I want to see what the Grizzlies bigs do against the Mavericks bigs. I'm excited for it.
Right, and given how the Western Conference is at this point in the season, like, every win counts in the West. The Grizzlies have not been particularly great against Western Conference opponents this season, and most notably against Western Conference opponents who are above 500, and this is an opportunity for them to improve on that. The Grizzlies 10-10 against the West, 4-9 on the road against the Western Conference, which you can counter with 6-1 at home, and they've been successful here this season.
It's that California. Five of those losses, I think, are in California.
You know what I've always said about California?
No love, right?
California, no love.
Is that what you say?
Yeah.
No, what series?
California, no love. Yeah, that's how the song goes.
Okay.
Yeah, we rewrote it here. Remix.
Oh, gosh.
Anyway, get your tickets to come out, support the Grizzlies tonight. 2 home games this week. Mavericks tonight, and then you get the Rockets, who you were right behind in the standings in the West. So 2 good ones on the home court for the team this week. NFL Week 18 was a bit of a dud. We were supposed to get the big, great game at the end of the night. I signed up for Sunday Night Football. I made sure we were home from our Timothy Chalamet playing Bob Dylan in a complete unknown movie for Sunday Night Football to watch the Vikings and the Lions battle it out for the #1 seed in the NFC. And then the Lions went and just beat the hell out of the Vikings last night.
But it was close. Like, it was 9-17 going into the fourth quarter.
But it felt over.
It didn't to me.
Oh, it felt over to me.
It felt like, the Vikings found a way to, score.
But it didn't feel like the Vikings could score on that defensive game plan from the Lions, and Sam Darnold was off. This is why I'm nervous, and I have been a Sam Darnold supporter. I have a T-shirt that says, "In Sam We Trust," but I am not sure it is in Sam We Trust. And I do get a little concerned for the Vikings offensively this postseason.
I'm concerned with if that's their play calling, particularly in the red zone, particularly inside the 5. 3 trips inside the 5 and 0 points? I love going for it on 4th down as the next person, right? I love it. You got to do it. Go out there, lay it all on the line. But if you got to know you're going for it on 4th down, on 1st down, and then call the plays accordingly. They would be 1st and goal from the 3 and throw 4 straight passes into the end zone. Like, come on, man. Try and run the ball on 1st and 2nd down. Then you can throw it on 3rd down. Then you see how close you are on 4th down and figure it out. Sam Darnold, yes, leaves a bit to be desired. That's why he's bounced around in the early part of his career. Seems like he's found a place that is interested in him right now. But you got to help him out with the play calling. You can't get that close to the end zone and come away with nothing 3 times. That's where the game ended up being a big old L for the Vikings. I thought, all right, 3rd quarter, because I don't trust Goff. right? Like Goff was giving the ball away and keeping the Vikings in that game. In my head, you get one stop, you get down into the red zone, you find a way to score, boom. Now it is 16-17, or you go for 2 and it's 17-17 if you get it, right? So, but then by, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes into the fourth quarter, Lions had put them away. So shout out to the Lions, number 1 overall seed.
And the Vikings have to go on the road with a 14-3 record, and they will face the Rams in the first round. Listen, that was the highlighted game of a day of a lot of meaningless games. Meaningless is not the correct word because, there was meaning for the Tennessee Titans, who get the number 1 pick in this year's NFL draft. Congratulations to the Titans. All of their misery and woe will pay off with the number 1 pick after they lost to the Texans as they were supposed to do, and the dummy Patriots went off and beat the Bills, and the Patriots fall to 4th in the NFL draft standings, behind the Titans in first, the Browns in second, the Giants in third, and then there are the Patriots. The Titans, Giants, and Browns were all 3-14 this season, but guess what? The Titans did it against the worst schedule of them all, so the Titans get the number 1 pick.
What do you do with that?
That's a great question. I look forward to talking to Teresa Walker about that extensively.
Recklessly. You hadn't thought about it at all because you got better things to think about than what the worst team in the NFL should do with the number 1 overall pick. But I say you got the number 1 overall pick as a GM. You would do what?
You want to know the first thing that comes to my mind?
What?
Travis Hunter.
Okay.
He's the best player in the draft.
Okay. And
you're
drafting him with the intention to do what?
That's the next question.
Okay. Because even Deion Sanders, who played both sides of the ball, played defense primarily and was a return specialist. And then they'd have a package or two for him.
But obviously the Titans have a quarterback problem. Unless you look at the last potential throw of Will Levis's career, which was a beaut.
It's still a problem.
Flat-footed 60-yarder.
That's still a problem. That's triple coverage. Like, that throw was so abysmal, the defensive back is like, surely he didn't throw that this way, and didn't even react to it.
But it just feels like it'd be so symbolic of the end of Will Levis's time. And they did split reps with Will Levis and Mason Rudolph yesterday. It really doesn't matter. I think going into yesterday's game, there was nothing that Will Levis was going to do that would change their perception of him being the quarterback of their future. So if you put me on the ledge and said you have to guess what the Titans do right now,
no, not
we're going to push you off.
Guess, just what would you do?
I know, that's what I would do. But they do need a quarterback. So,
I mean,
and I don't want that quarterback to be Aaron Rodgers, who may or may not have played his last game as a New York Jet. Probably played his last game of a Jet. Is it his last game, period, is the question for Aaron Rodgers.
Count the people. Look. Like,
Other Jacob is in our ear saying, extend them. Extend the man.
It's 3 people. Keep it running, Jacob. Keep it running, because it's 3 people there. It's 2 defensive, it's 2 corners and a safety back there. Why is he throwing that?
Jacob, what do you want them to do? I'll relay your message.
Jacob doesn't know.
Trade back.
Trade back. And take a flyer on Justin Fields or JJ or Darnold, whomever is available. We talked about this pre-show before you got here, and Fields is available as a free agent, we're pretty sure. So you see if you can pull him and keep your draft picks, keep your assets, and if not, Jacob is saying make a trade for one of those Vikings quarterbacks. I had something else to say about this abysmal Titans season. Oh, they need everything, though. Like, we can talk about them needing a quarterback, and that is absolutely true. But you don't get to be 3-14 just because your quarterback is bad. And so maybe what they can do is to keep picks and not necessarily give up on Will Levis. Maybe you stage a car accident for what's my man's name? No, but he's safe.
What are you talking about?
What's the backup quarterback's name?
Mason?
Yeah, have Mason get into a car accident, because it seems to have helped with Bryce, is all I'm saying.
Came out of nowhere.
Bryce is playing like football, and all it took for him was Andy Dalton to get in a car accident.
Yeah, they even did a nice little QB1 graphic for Bryce coming off of yesterday's performance. How quickly it changes.
Maybe that's all you need to do. Stage it, and I said stage, right? Not act, make everybody knows.
Did you do those really horrific in your all-boys school? I don't know if private schools were the same as public schools, but we did these like horrific drunk driving staged car accidents where somebody in your class in high school was involved in this fake. You watched the accident and like the local police department came and would wrap a car around a pole. And I don't know how this all logistically worked, but you watched like one of your classmates taken out of the car dead from a drunk driving accident.
So
it was an immersive experience.
Was the classmate involved?
Yeah.
So like they knew like, hey,
yeah, they were like
kid,
a paid actor.
Drunk
They
driving
got like
kid.
a Dairy Queen gift card.
Go lay down
You got
in
to be the
this.
kid who died.
You
But
did.
then also in your classes, because however many people die every 10 minutes of drunk driving in this country, someone in your class would die to symbolize drunk driving, and they would like put their hood on. Like I'd have like a black sweatshirt on, and you'd put your hood on in the class, and then you weren't allowed to talk the rest of the day because you died.
What?
Emotional damage.
I don't know if anybody did that outside of your school.
I think it was a thing.
I'm almost certain.
I would love to know
Clip
for
it,
the
Luke, so we can
others.
figure it out. Because I'm pretty sure that's just.
Did you
your
have
school.
fake deaths in your school to
No,
symbolize drunk driving?
We had real deaths, but not fake ones.
But when you say stage a car accident, that's where my brain
just
went.
stage it. Because I watched that Falcons game, the Falcons-Panthers game, the one that ended up not mattering because the Bucs found their way to win. I was like, holy hell, they've got a good quarterback. My wife is watching it with me. She's like, how are they as bad as they are? This dude can play. It's like, well, he wasn't this before the car accident. All I'm saying is you got a young quarterback, stage it. Have everybody know it's fake involved, but tell us we don't have to know. It's real. And maybe that wakes up your young quarterback.
Well, it is also a real holiday in this country. It is Black Monday, a holiday that used to be reserved for firing NFL coaches coming off of the regular season. But I take issue with Black Monday because all these teams have decided to fire their coaches before Black Monday. We used to be a proper country who abided by holidays, but then capitalism has taken over everything. And every holiday in this country, we start celebrating earlier and earlier. The Jets firing Robert Saleh, the Bears firing Eberflus, even the Patriots yesterday could not wait one additional day to fire Gerard Mayo. You want to know who did it right? You want to know who waited the whole time? Who we said over and over again, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? They honored the holiday.
Who?
The Jacksonville Jaguars finally fired Doug Peterson on the day the Lord intended, Black Monday in the NFL. The Giants are keeping Brian Daboll. That's the news so far. But you want to know why that's the news so far? Because these other jabronis fired their coach before the proper holiday. What are we doing?
Is anybody else left?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Bengals coach should be fine.
I mean, another bad start in September because that's what
Yeah,
costed them
but
again.
I think he'll get another year.
That might be frustrating. Okay.
Dolphins announced yesterday that they were keeping theirs.
Okay.
McDaniel. You think Callahan's up in the air?
Callahan says other Jacob.
Okay. Well, if you
But they
you
keep-
wait
they
to
keep
do it on
saying-
Tuesday, I swear.
They keep saying
So
that he's
mad.
fine. I don't like this firing coaches after 1 year thing.
I
either.
don't like this firing coaches on a day that is not designated for firing coaches. We have a day for this. Come on. We have a day for half-price televisions. Not even half-price anymore. What am I talking about?
We don't care about
Black
TV.
Friday stinks. Black Monday stinks.
Cyber Monday. Can we? Well,
We can't call this Cyber Monday.
no, we
We
can't.
could have called it the Axe Monday. Maybe if we'd named it a better name. That's the problem.
Can it be Black Sunday Monday?
No.
Can we extend it?
No.
We need more holidays that last multiple days.
Do we? They start putting Valentine's Day candy.
No.
Like
that's
January 25th.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying
You mean
start the holiday.
physically lasting.
Yes, a holiday that carries on for 3 days is what I'm saying. Like the Jewish community has Hanukkah. That's what?
True. 8 crazy nights.
8 nights. Ramadan. The
Mulkey.
Islamic community has. That's months, isn't it?
It's Ramadan months.
I feel like it is. I mean, why should
You're
you
right.
know? You're not Muslim.
I know, but I should respect all holidays
I mean, you can respect them. I don't know anything
and
about them.
understand them better.
I barely know the holidays I'm supposed to know about. I just found out what Easter was about. Did you know he rose? I didn't know that's why we celebrate.
Did you never go to Palm Sunday? You never carried a palm around at your church? You've never had a fake drunk driving car accident, and you've never carried a palm around at your church.
What the hell is a palm?
On Palm Sunday, you would get a palm, and you would.
What's that?
It's the Sunday before Easter.
What is a
Don't
palm?
ask me specifics. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll get into the Hot Mess Express. I can't answer these questions. We'll get into some killer outfits. The Mayo Bowl is the gift that continues to give. The bowls don't mean we don't have a proper holiday for firing coaches, and the bowls have lost their luster because they're happening all random dandom on days after college football playoff games. It makes us not appreciate the greatness that is the Mayo Bowl, the Bahamas Bowl, the great bowls. We'll get into the Hot Mess Express when we come back.
Grizz Nation, it's time to send Ja, Sharon, and Dez to the 2025 All-Star Game.
Oh! What did we just see, partner? Take three! Take three! Bain for three. Bingo! This man, Bain, heating it up. Blocked by Sharon!
Most versatile power forward in the game today.
Head to NBA.com/vote, the NBA app, or simply use the QR code on the screen to send your Grizzlies to the All-Star Game today.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GBWR.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals takes it straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
There's no substitute for experience, the knowledge gained from having been there before, and the passion to share what you know to make everyone around you better. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
I'm not going to let you get away with this.
Yeah, that's fine. I deserve it.
You walked in here on Friday afternoon and said
the smoke.
Every day for the last 2 years, you have said, I am John Buckeye.
I said once the playoff matchups were made, you asked what I thought. I said Ohio State's going to beat them by double digits. I said Ohio State's. I walked it all back and went John Vol. I joined General Nealon's Navy.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Dusty May was at Florida Atlantic last year. Tonight you'll watch him coach at Michigan. So why do I care if a football player decides to leave one place where he's making whatever money to go somewhere where he's making even more? It's what most coaches do every year. So I cannot stand it, and I mean can't stand it when the coaches sit up there and act like these young people are doing something wrong.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
How about them Tigers? Go.
Beat Tulane in a game that nobody called. Nobody thought was going to happen. They were a 2-touchdown underdog, and they got the win.
Number 25 in the AP right now, number 24 in the coaches poll right now. So this is a Tigers football team that's going to end the regular season ranked in both major polls, possibly ranked in the CFP as well, with 10 wins. That's a damn good season.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
I can't wait to see what your number one. If that's your number two.
Number one for me.
Come on, man.
I listen to LaBelle's Luther Vandross. I love Luther Vandross's Christmas album.
I gotta go back and listen to that one, man. I'm sure I've heard it.
To the bells and they made me remember. Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning into HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Grizz Nation, it's time to send Ja, Jaron, and Dez to the 2025 All-Star Game.
Oh! What did we just see, partner? Take three! Take three! Bane for three. Bingo!
This man Bane heating it up. Blocked by Jaron. Most versatile power forward in the game today.
Head to NBA.com/vote, the NBA app, or simply use the QR code on the screen to send your Grizzlies to the All-Star Game today.
Chugga, 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 chugga. All aboard!
The Hot Mess Express. Chugga, 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 chugga.
All right, let's do a little Hot Mess Express before we get into the rest of our week, starting with some fire fits from the weekend. Jeremy Strong showed up to the Golden Globes last night. He usually wears a brown suit. He's been real into the browns in his award show presentations. However, last night, he looked like a little leprechaun. The bucket hat, the glasses, the suit jacket, it's all green. Chris and I saw him in the background of a shot and said, "Who is that?" And then when we found out it was Jeremy Strong, it was a surprise. Not really his style.
Who is he and why does he matter?
He's a capital A actor. Most notable played Kendall Roy on Succession.
Okay.
He's most recently been in a movie called The Apprentice
right.
about Donald Trump that then nobody did any PR for because they were all too concerned about the backlash because it's not the most positive movie in the world. And then he became president again on January 6th.
So wait, is he Donald Trump in the movie?
No, he's the, I can't think of his name. He's like lifelong lawyer.
Okay.
Cohen. Yeah, Ray Cohen.
Okay.
And what else has Jeremy Strong been in? He's like the closest thing we have to a working method actor. He's just he's really committed to his work, is the way I would put it. But this was a fun little outfit for Jeremy Strong. Philip Dean photoshopped a picture of my face on it because I said that outfit is what it feels like to come back into the office after New Year's Eve, your first full working week of the new year. And you're like, new year, new me. That's me telling you I'm going to be more positive, CJ, despite your Nosferatu-ness of negativity.
I'm keeping it in check because I still have some things that'll make just ruin that the second I drop it.
You keep saying that.
But I won't.
And I won't take the bait.
I won't.
I won't take the bait. I'll even be positive about Kim Mulkey's outfit from over the weekend.
Say what you want to about her, but she be dressing.
She keeps you on your toes. I was looking at this outfit, trying to figure out, is it 3D or is it just on the sweater itself? It is not 3D. It looks like the strings of the basket do come off of the outfit once I saw it in motion. I first saw a still image of this great basketball outfit. You know, you say you're committed to the game, but are you wearing a basketball hoop as a sweater? If you're not, I don't think I believe you anymore.
She dresses like a kindergarten teacher. And I say that
politely,
right? You know how kindergarten teachers are trying to get your attention. They'll wear various patterns of bright or fun little outfits that you can touch, sensory type stuff. That's how Mulkey dresses. I love that part of her. Other parts. But she's a great dresser.
I separate the art from the artist.
She's a great coach. She's a great dresser.
I'm separating the art from the artist.
Maybe she could be. Oh.
I loved Nicole Scherzinger in Sunset Boulevard.
Great coach, great dresser, and she can dap you up real nice and proper like. She's got a mean dap on her.
All right, we talked a lot about Jimmy Butler, and I'm sure Miami fans will rationally respond to him potentially leaving the great city of Miami. I saw some wild murals already of fans turning on Jimmy Butler, and it's like, he got you to 2 NBA finals, and again, dragged you.
Did he win one?
No. Yeah, okay, I guess. They might lose Jimmy Butler and Tyreek Hill in the same week, because even though the Dolphins announced they'll be keeping their coaches, Tyreek Hill, following yesterday's season finale, said, I'm out. I'm out, bro. Said, I'm opening the door, and I'm out. He's not just out. He's opening the door. Said, it was great playing here, but at the end of the day, I got to do what's best for my career. I'm too much of a competitor to just be out there.
Yeah, he said, if you listen to the video, he pointed out, like, hey, this is the first time in my career I've missed the playoffs. And so if that's the case, I feel like, wasn't he on the, maybe not. If this is the first time he missed the playoffs, if you're a competitor, you want to get back to the playoffs. You played in Super Bowls, right? With the Chiefs.
Yes.
Super Bowl champion?
Yes.
Yeah, if that's what you started your career accustomed to, even though you're in Miami, and it's beautiful in Miami, you want to get back to that.
Cheetah out.
Maybe the Titans could make a move for him.
They don't have palm trees.
No, they don't. But he played in Kansas City.
Yeah, but he left Kansas City. He chased the palm trees.
Did he leave or they traded him? What happened with that? I can't remember exactly. Why do I feel like I've always felt like he was traded? No, he left in free agency. You're right.
Yeah.
But I think he left because they couldn't pay him, if I remember correctly. Either way it goes, he played in Kansas City. There's no palm trees there. There's a bunch of snow right now, so we're sending our thoughts and prayers to you guys as y'all try and battle this snowstorm or what have you. So he can play in Nashville. They got,
What if some poor little kid in Miami got a Tyreek Hill jersey for Christmas, and now 10 days later has to burn it? Has to learn what it's like to be a modern sports fan.
Because there are girl sports fans. She doesn't have to burn it. Like that's a thing here. These jackasses are running around burning their own money, setting their money on fire.
Yeah, they're stupid.
Keep the damn jersey. Because I guarantee you, in like 4 or 5 years, once the emotion of the situation wears off, you look back on it and be like,
Are you? What were the good times?
The good times? Mm-hmm. That playoff run last year was incredible.
Yeah.
Again, he might have a regular season record or two with the Dolphins. That's how fun that offense was last year.
And then it was so sad.
It was sad because they allowed Tua to get concussed 2 times in 1 week. Mm-hmm. It's their fault.
You want to know what's fun?
What?
The Mayo Bowl. You want to know what I didn't watch?
The Mayo Bowl.
The Mayo Bowl. Because why aren't we playing bowl games after the college football playoff has begun? I think it is unfair to the bowls that I once held near and dear to my heart. Now, outside of the FCS championship game that is being played today between North Dakota State and Montana State going after a perfect 16-0 season, I'll be watching that from Frisco, Texas at the Toyota Stadium. But I didn't get to watch this. I didn't get to watch PJ Fleck get mayoed in all his glory. And honestly, of all the coaches who could be mayoed in a Mayo Bowl, PJ Fleck has big Mayo energy.
Wait, does he lick his hand after?
Oh, it's disgusting. He licks it off his face. I watched 12 different videos, every different angle of this man getting a Mayo bath. And Minnesota beat Virginia Tech 24-10, in case you cared. You don't. All you care is the Mayo bath. And Flavor Flav was the Mayo mascot. He's everywhere. Flavor Flav, America's sweetheart, just as we all expected and anticipated. First, he's saving women's sports at the Olympics. Then he's on every NBC broadcast, except for the tree lighting ceremony, because that was an incident. Yeah, water polo. Yeah. He also supported the, why did I want to say field? Rugby. He supported the rugby team.
I thought there was something with rugby also. Okay.
And he was shining a light on so many. He gave Jordan Childs her medal, even though the Olympics tried to steal the medals. He gave her a clock.
Jessica, this isn't the 2024 recap show. So
well, I'm just saying, Flavor Flav popped up in 2025 at the Duke's Mayo Bowl, and I didn't watch it, and I was so mad at myself. I also did not watch the Bahamas Bowl, which was on Saturday. They brought the Bahamas Bowl back, presented by Atlantis Resorts. Buffalo beat Liberty 26-7. We had children racing a dog. What more could you ask for at a bowl game? That's the halftime entertainment I would sign up for, and it's actually start of the fourth quarter entertainment. The other big thing that came from the Bahamas Bowl that I didn't want to send because it felt wrong to show the picture. But did you see
Jesus wins as they're getting the shit beat out
Yeah,
of them?
Jamie Chadwell wore a Jesus One shirt because he is staunch in his faith.
Great.
But his faith could not save him from being down 26-0 in the fourth quarter. So there's just a still shot of Jamie Chadwell in the Jesus One shirt. But
Who's
Liberty,
Jimmy Chadwell for the people?
Head coach at Liberty, formerly coach at Coastal Carolina.
All right.
Now at Liberty.
Okay.
Once upon a time where Hugh Freeze rehabilitated his coaching life before he went to go get beat by Diego Pavia at Auburn.
Every single year.
Every time. It first started at Liberty, to be fair. It carried over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jesus won.
Bahamas
Liberty
Bowl
did
ain't been
not.
right since Popeyes left the sponsorship.
Bahamas Bowl ain't been right since the Memphis fight.
That wasn't
Wasn't
Bahamas. That was Boca. Weren't they in Boca, Florida?
Oh, yeah, that was the Boca Bowl. Who was in the Great Bahamas Bowl fight?
Oh, I can't remember that. Oh, you're asking good questions, though. Who
That's
was
the
it?
history.
Yeah.
I don't know. Apparently there was a fight in the Buffalo Liberty game, too, so that's what comes out first. All right, what else do we got on the Hot Mess Express? What is the worst thing you can get hit by at a sporting event? I had this question pop up when I watched a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader get ding-donged in the head by a ball. This happened in the Cowboys game. And speaking of the Cowboys, Mike McCarthy, definitely one of those coaches we're looking out for on Black Monday. But this cheerleader took it to the noggin. Watch this. Ball, head, oi, from behind. I will say, I started thinking, like, getting hit by a basketball, getting hit by a football. I think getting hit by a golf ball at a golf event, if you're getting hit by the ball in question, or by a foul ball at a baseball game, like a real stinger that could kill you, because that's why they put up the ropes. Like that one, you could die. But I would take getting hit by a football or a basketball 10 out of 10 times over getting run over by one of the players, especially football. Like being on the wrong end of an out-of-bounds play
Like
where like
Shaq,
a 300-pounder
Shaq just comes and dives into the crowd to save the ball.
I don't want that. I see that happen to the camera guys even here at NBA games. I want none of that. That's a lot of body.
I think the difference in first off, footballs and basketballs, and we're just talking about sports memorabilia, sports items, not necessarily the players, because you're right, getting smashed by one of these giants would be painful. There's some squish. Not a lot, but there is some squish in a basketball and football, so get rid of those. Get rid of a tennis ball also. Golf ball will leave a mark, but it's small.
Yeah, but don't you think a golf ball is kind of like if you put a penny off the Empire State Building and you got hit by the penny, you would die?
Do you
something
want
small
that or
can
a
be so
line
mighty?
drive off a baseball bat or a hockey puck
I
to
was
the face?
going to say, hockey puck being brought up in the chat is a good one.
Those are going to break things in your face if you get hit in the face with one of those.
Hockey puck, baseball, golf ball, I think could kill you. I think all three of those could kill you.
I think two of those can. I don't think
You don't think a golf ball can kill you?
I don't think they're hitting it far enough or hard enough for it to. Maybe
You
I'm
just
wrong.
got the wrong. Like, what if somebody, like an errant shot off the tee? I got a golf ball to my ankle bone once, and that thing was like,
it swole up on
it
you?
was disgusting. It was purple. Anyway, I hope the cheerleader's okay.
She seemed okay. She was up laughing about it. Tee-hee-hee.
It is so embarrassing. Every time I do the
embarrassing about it?
It's just embarrassing to get hit by a ball. I got hit by a basketball at a Grizzlies practice at Salt Lake City Summer League, and I've never forgotten about it.
What?
It was an errant pass. Clocked me.
Do you think
and then they were like all apologizing.
Do you think they still talk about it?
No,
Like,
they definitely don't.
That's the girl right there. Who
They
got hit by
definitely
that ball
don't,
one
but
time.
I do. This is when I lay in bed at night and I'm like, I'm too hot, I'm too cold. Remember that one time I got hit in the face with a basketball at Grizzlies Summer League practice? I'm sure everybody else forgot about
That's
it.
not even the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you at one of those types of things. Didn't you pass out?
Not here.
But I mean, still, that's more embarrassing than getting hit by a ball.
He didn't pass out. I almost passed out at the Steve Sarkisian press conference opener at USC.
I thought you passed out here.
No, I almost passed out at the Mike Norvell press conference, like my first time covering Memphis football. I had to go to I left my camera and had to go to the bathroom and get water. Yeah, those were embarrassing.
Yeah, that's way more embarrassing.
But getting hit in the face with a ball is embarrassing.
A ball to the face is all right.
Tearing your Achilles at a company basketball tournament might take the cake, though.
That's not.
But it's different.
That's not a press conference. You had to torn your Achilles at the press conference. That would be
really embarrassing.
That would be something.
Speaking of Achilles, on our way out, Deshaun Watson had a setback in his recovery from his torn Achilles.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no. All right, everybody. Happy 2025. Thanks for being here. We'll see you tonight at FedEx Forum, Grizzlies, Mavs. Hopefully we'll be back tomorrow morning doing some winning highlights, our first highlights of 2025. I will speak them into existence. Have a great rest of your Monday. Stay warm. We'll see you then. Bye.